Hey guys, so if you guys have been watching my blog lately, I've been posting both written blogs and ones where you actually have to hear my voice. Sorry. But remember, if you guys have read, I wrote in one of my blogs about how prom always brings something you're not expecting. And there are both great things. Like in the written blog, I wrote about how, people found the perfect dress or they realized how much fun they were having. They just had a great time. I also thought I would write a blog or talk about stuff that when prom doesn't always go as you plan. They're fun, and it's just a matter of how do you take it? Do you take it as this is the worst experience ever, everything is ruined, or do you take it as more of a this is fun, this is fun? So, welcome to my disaster blog. So I'm starting off with about 5 topics. My first one being a dress failure. My friend, Lindsay Bach, wonderful girl, had her first dress failure. She's going to her junior prom this year and had all of a sudden found out the dress she thought she was going to wear didn't fit right. And this is a couple of weeks until prom. Now, if all of you know, finding your dress a couple of weeks before prom can be really hard because, you're worried about how much money you have to spend, how much, what if someone has the same dress as you, you're twice as likely to not find the dress you want. So my sister tried to help her out, say, hey, you can still go to prom. My sister has her old dresses that she wore to prom. You'd come over and check them out. So Lindsay went over and she tried on one of my dresses, the dress I wore for my senior prom, and wore it and looked gorgeous. I went and looked at them on Facebook, and hopefully I will get those up. I'll put them even up side by side so you guys can see how cute we both looked in the dress. And that shows dresses are not just made for one person. They can look great on more people. That's why sharing dresses are great. Another couple of things I've been reading about is when your dress actually has something go wrong with it. There was this article on promdressshop.com. A couple of these links I will send you guys so you can check them out. Been going through and reading them first. Promdressshop.com had one girl's story where her mom was doing some ironing and hung up her dress so it wouldn't get wrinkled, but she hung it up next to a chandelier and the dress actually caught fire. And she said, that's awful, and as awful as it was that my dress was ruined and I had to go get a new one, it was the fact that I was happy it was my dress, not my whole house. So, she found a little positive. She found the silver lining. A couple other ones where I saw a lot of your dress ripped in the middle, or your dress fell down in the middle of the prom, or you spilled something on your dress. There are definitely some good ways to take care of those. One of the articles I read said, carry some fashion tape in your purse. Ladies, most of girls will carry a purse with them. And then some proms will even offer a coat check for you, or you can put them over on a table. In your purse, you may want to try throwing fashion tape or a small sewing kit in there in case there is that problem. Your heel catches or something else catches and all of a sudden there's a hole in your dress, or there's a nice slit up your side that's a little too big. Another one is, checking out your dress about a week or two before you go to prom. Give it enough time that if something's not fitting right, it's not tight enough on the top or it's too long on the bottom, you still want to give your time for a tailor to actually look at it, or a grandma to look at, or a mom even, or whoever else is wonderful at sewing to fix it for you. Make sure that you go and you look as great as you feel. Another big thing to watch about dress and outfit failures is if you're going with a date, if you don't want to be taller than your date, I've always had this problem, being 5'8", it's very hard to find guys that are taller than me when you're in high school. Try checking out heels with them first. Ask them to come over for the night. Say, hey, I want to look at some shoes that I want to wear. Just borrow so you know what kind of shoe you want to look for, what kind of height you're looking for. If there's no way you will do it, try wearing a flat. There's nothing wrong with wearing a flat. Not only will can you find a really cute pair, you'll also find maybe that you're more comfortable than the girls wearing the stilettos who have to take them off as soon as the dance starts. And then your feet don't get gross because you're not wearing barefoot because you take your shoes off. Those are some quick and easy fixes and how to look a little bit more on the bright side. Another way is if something does go wrong, have a friend there. If somebody, it might help you out to even have a friend at the last minute just lend you an old dress if something goes wrong, like you spilled spaghetti on your dress during the date. Ask your friend. Maybe they have a dress you could borrow, or an older sibling, or or a parent even has a dress that you could borrow really quick. That way you don't miss out on prom because you don't want to go without a dress. So another one is that sometimes you worry about wearing the same dress as someone else. Now, my favorite one was from, again, that promdressshop.com. There was a story about these girls who lived in a really small town, and the closest place to a mall was a 3-hour drive. And so most of them by prom season would just swap dresses with other girls and just wear something. And one girl said, I just found the perfect dress. It was my dream dress. And I show up, and not only is a good friend wearing the exact same dress, but another girl was too. And at first, she was really upset, went off into the bathroom and cried. And then by the end, she said, I don't even care. I'm just here to have fun for me. This is my prom too. She took it as, so what, we looked good in the same thing, and it's not even about how, if somebody else is wearing my dress, it's about how much I'm having fun. So that's a big thing. If you do show up to the prom and your dress is the same as someone else, think about, well, I look really hot in my dress. I think I'm just going to have fun and enjoy myself. That's always the best way to think about it, I think. So, one other thing is being very careful about what you eat before. Some stories have told horror stories about eating too much, eating their favorite, eating food they never had before. Best way to go about on prom is eat lightly, because you will be dancing most of the night away, or you'll be in a very nice dress or a very nice tux, guys. I'm not trying to exclude you here, but you're wearing nice clothes. Eat lightly. That doesn't try not to, so you don't have to spill. You have a less chance to spill, and there's a chance you won't get sick. A lot of the stories are about girls, getting sick on their dates, and their dates never talking to them again. The fun stuff. Just be very careful about how you eat before. I'm not saying don't eat. Definitely eat. Eating is the best part about prom, I would say. I always went to a really good restaurant. Just, eat lightly. Try to stick with stuff you're familiar with. That way you avoid less chance of having sickness during the dance. Now, a big thing, and this is going to be a lot easier for me to be said than to be done, and that's a date failure. All of a sudden, you can check these out. They're all over everywhere of someone's date dropping them 2 weeks before, and then they're going single. Now, one of my friends that I wrote about in a previous blog went without a date. A lot of my friends actually would go without dates, and oftentimes had more fun than me, and I went with dates every year. No offense to the boys I went with dates as, but, a lot of times it's just fun. You can dance with whoever you want to dance with. You can just dance by yourself and look crazy. It's so much more fun sometimes that way. If you do have that unfortunate situation of, a date canceling on you, look at the bright side. Say, okay, you don't want to go with me. I can do whatever I want then. Sorry. And then, there were a couple, though, that I read that on the night of prom, like, the boy would be off kissing another girl. So one of them I read, she said he was in the limo kissing his ex-girlfriend, So I all of a sudden just brought his brother with me, and not only did I make him angry that I had brought his brother, but I got a new boyfriend out of it. Kind of funny. Another one said, I was really upset about it. I thought I was in love with the guy, but I realized a few years later that I had found the man of my life and I got married to him. So, while you see the high school sweethearts, and I applaud them, those of you that do, never be concerned. You go without a date, you'll most likely find someone better, or if, you definitely have that opportunity. There are a lot of fish in the sea. I'm going to say that now. And now, the last one I want you guys to check out are this big story that just happened. These nice-looking Wisconsin kids going to take pictures on the pier when all of a sudden the pier gave out while they were on it, and they all just crashed right into hilarious. You feel really bad for all of them, but at the same time you're cracking up. Check it out, www.buzzfeed.com. I'll leave you the full link, but BuzzFeed.com definitely had the best ones because they showed the before and after. And then they had the article about how they were able to get dry and they ended up laughing it off. At first they were really upset, as everyone would be if you just got to take a bath in your prom dress. But check them out. There's always a way to laugh about what just happened. And that's the best way to be, I think. So don't worry about disasters. Just think of how to combat. It sometimes helps to be a little prepared. Think about how to combat them. You can usually laugh them off later.